Okay, so we are living right in the middle of this massive global race to build and adopt AI. It's everywhere. But while countries and big companies are all fighting for that top spot, there's a totally different story happening for the rest of us, the people who actually use this stuff every single day. So what's the real human cost of this tech boom? Let's get into it.
Right. So when you think about the AI race, your mind probably jumps straight to the US versus China, right? It's like this big tech Cold War. But what if I told you the real winners, the ones truly leading the pack, are countries you might not even have on your radar? The data here paints a much, much more surprising picture. Just look at this list of the frontrunners. The usual tech superpowers, they're not dominating the top spots at all. Instead, it's these smaller, more agile nations that are proving to be way more effective at getting their populations to actually use AI.
Yeah, this whole thing really is a fascinating story, with some totally unexpected leaders and some giants who are kind of falling behind. It really tells you that building AI and using AI are two very, very different ballgames.
I mean, take Singapore. They are the undisputed leader here, with a massive 66% of their population adopting AI. So what's their secret? Well, they got a huge head start. They launched a national AI strategy way back in 2019, weaving it into everything from healthcare to education long before the rest of us really caught on. And this slide right here, this shows one of the biggest paradoxes in the entire AI space. The United States is, without a doubt, the global leader in creating AI technology and infrastructure. I mean, it's home to pretty much all the major players. But when it comes to its own citizens adopting and using these tools, it ranks a surprisingly low 28th in the world. Kind of crazy, right?
And this really shows that just having the best tech isn't enough. Look at Japan, a total tech powerhouse. They're way down at number 57, held back by things like corporate culture and language barriers. And then you've got India, which is a whole other paradox. They have the most AI app downloads in the world, by a lot, but their actual per-person adoption rate is a tiny 11%. That just screams a massive infrastructure gap.
So, yeah, the global race it's complicated, but let's zoom in a bit. Let's go from this big geopolitical stage right down to our individual desks. Because while all the nations are busy tracking adoption rates, researchers have been tracking the real-world impact on workers. And, well, they found that the promise of AI doesn't always match the reality.
The big sales pitch for AI was that it was going to free us from all those tedious tasks, right? Shorten our workdays, boost our creativity. But a groundbreaking study from researchers at UC Berkeley, it reveals a much more complicated and, frankly, a much more exhausting reality. So, the study found that after this first productivity boost, where employees were working way faster, things kind of went south. Those same employees, they actually reported working longer hours, feeling more burnt out, and having a worse work-life balance. And the quality of the work, it often took a nosedive, leading to what some people are now calling work slop. That low-quality, error-filled work that someone else has to go back and fix. All of this growing anxiety, this constant pressure cooker environment, it's starting to have some very real psychological consequences. And this isn't just your everyday stress, it's something new. And researchers have actually given it a name. They've coined the term AI replacement dysfunction, or AIRD for short. It's a specific framework to describe the mental and, honestly, the existential distress that comes from that constant nagging fear that your job, your skills, your whole professional identity are about to become obsolete. And these symptoms are really distinct from everyday burnout. We're talking about chronic stress, a deep loss of professional identity. And what's even more alarming, researchers are seeing skill atrophy. Think about it. When we over-rely on AI to write our emails or analyze data, our own critical thinking and creative muscles can actually start to get weaker. And look, this is not some niche problem that's only affecting a few people in the tech world. A recent survey found that a massive 71% of Americans share this deep-seated fear of being permanently replaced by AI. This is a widespread societal issue. So, what's the path forward? We have this incredibly powerful technology, but it's causing all this friction and fear. So how can organizations actually harness the power of AI without sacrificing the well-being of the very people who are supposed to benefit from it?
Well, the consensus among experts seems to be a human-centric approach. It's not about rejecting AI, but about integrating it wisely. That means building hybrid teams where AI handles the grunt work and humans provide the oversight, the creativity.
It means aggressively upskilling the workforce so people feel confident working alongside these new tools. And crucially, it means protecting purely human spaces for collaboration and making sure people feel safe enough to actually voice their concerns.
So I think the crucial takeaway here is this. The biggest challenge isn't just about winning some global tech race. It's about figuring out how we manage the human race alongside it. Because as AI continues to get smarter and smarter, the most important question we really need to ask ourselves is, how do we make sure our workplaces and our societies get wiser?